Imagine boarding a high-speed train that never needs fuel, never plugs into grid, and glides silently above the tracks at airplane speeds, powered by its own motion. Now imagine that this groundbreaking leap in transportation didn't come from Silicon Valley, Tokyo, or Berlin. Reports have emerged out of South Africa and Kenya, where a coalition of engineers and researchers has unveiled a prototype maglev train unlike anything we've seen. We're not talking about the traditional magnetically levitated train that needs massive grid power. This beast uses a self-charging propulsion system, harvesting and recycling its own energy using regenerative electromagnetic systems, onboard kinetic converters, zero-contact superconducting rails, and a rumored RF-assisted capacitor core. Early footage shows a sleek test unit levitating over a short track, with no external power cables, diesel backup, or overhead lines. This isn't just evolution, it's transportation rebellion. So how does a train power itself? Insiders claim the system uses a hybrid of small blue diamond magnetic field recycling, capturing energy lost during levitation and acceleration, small blue diamond RF energy amplification, boosting the recovered charge using radio frequency resonance, small blue diamond supercapacitor storage cells, delivering bursts of power without batteries, small blue diamond induction-based regeneration, turning motion into stored voltage. It's essentially the holy grail of clean transport, a closed-loop energy maglev system. If this scales, it would wipe out dependencies on fossil fuels, grid charging, and complex infrastructure. And, of course, you know who had something to say. A leaked snippet shows Elon Musk's team referring to it as a disruptive prototype worth monitoring. Why? Because Musk's Hyperloop and Boring Company concepts still rely on external energy and complex infrastructure. But if Africa has truly cracked autonomous maglev power, that's a global paradigm shift. European transit analysts are calling the most audacious transportation leap since the Shinkansen. Chinese media is reportedly preparing a formal inquiry into the tech. And Elon, sources say he's already requested technical briefs. Can it scale? Building superconductor materials locally, extending test tracks beyond 5 to 10 kilometers, creating regulatory frameworks, mass manufacturing, and energy certification. But here's the twist. African development funds, Pan-African tech incubators, and Middle Eastern investors are already circling. Some even want the first routes between Nairobi and Addis Ababa, or Johannesburg and Pretoria. The world thought Africa was playing catch-up. Turns out it might be leading the race. If this maglev becomes operational, heavy checkmark long-distance travel will rival airplanes at a fraction of the cost. Heavy checkmark zero-emission transport will leapfrog EVs and hydrogen trains. Heavy checkmark national power grids won't be burdened. Heavy checkmark Africa could become the world's innovation hub, not just a market. And let's be honest, if you told anyone 5 years ago that self-charging maglev tech would surface from Africa before Europe, Japan, or the US, they'd laugh. Today, nobody's laughing. So the only question now is, will the world embrace this breakthrough, or try to bury it? And what do you think Elon Musk will do next? Collab, compete, or copy? What's blowing minds across engineering circles isn't just the technology, it's who built it. This prototype isn't backed by a trillion-dollar tech giant or a European aerospace conglomerate. It was developed by a joint task force of African physicists, mechanical engineers, and independent innovators, many of whom were previously overlooked by global institutions. Here are some key players involved. A Zimbabwean-born electromagnetic systems engineer who once worked on military radar technology. A Kenyan startup specializing in regenerative kinetic systems. South African superconductor materials researchers who found cheaper alternatives to traditional rare earth elements. A Nigerian-led AI team optimizing energy routing in real time. Their collaboration wasn't born in billion-dollar labs. It began in university workshops, retool facilities, and private research hubs across Nairobi, Pretoria, and Harare. And according to insiders, the first test run wasn't meant to go public, until a leaked clip changed everything. The footage that surfaced online only lasted 27 seconds, but that was enough to trigger headlines. In the clip, the maglev prototype glides over a 200-meter test track. No overhead lines, no third rail, no fuel tanks, just a streak of motion and a faint hum. What shocked experts wasn't the levitation. It was the instrumentation panel, which showed energy draw, 0 external watts, power regeneration, continuous, max velocity on test, 148 kilometers per hour, projected full-scale target, 650 kilometers per hour. A transportation research group in Germany requested raw telemetry. A Chinese state-owned railway firm attempted to contact the engineering team. Elon's technical division flagged the video under Frontier Concepts, watch list. And here's what few people know. The clip wasn't supposed to leak. It came from an intern who assumed it was promotional material for investors. Too late. The world had already seen it. Sources close to Tesla and the Boring Company claim Elon's initial response was skeptical curiosity, not dismissal. His exact words during a closed design call, according to a senior engineer present, were, "If it's real, it's one of the top 5 transportation breakthroughs of the decade." He reportedly ordered a full technical assessment of the magnetic KRS, kinetic energy recovery system, a review on how it could intersect or compete with Hyperloop models, a private reach out through a European intermediary to open a dialogue. But here's the big question. Will Elon collaborate, compete, or attempt acquisition? Nobody's sure yet, but the engineers behind this Maglev aren't backing down. Days after the story blew up, several African governments made quiet moves. Kenya's Ministry of Transport drafted a confidential proposal for a 50 kilometers pilot line. South Africa initiated talks on converting an abandoned freight corridor into a prototype track. Morocco sent envoys to explore manufacturing rights in its industrial zones. Rwanda's Tech Investment Board reportedly offered tax-free development zones. Even more surprising, the United Arab Emirates is rumored to be considering a joint investment package to scale the technology across trade routes. For the first time, Africa isn't just adopting innovation, it's exporting it. While global media speculates, internal planning has already begun. Early documents point to 3 candidate cities being evaluated for the world's first operational self-charging Maglev line. Nairobi, Kenya, ideal hub due to its expanding tech corridor and planned smart city zones. Johannesburg, Pretoria Corridor, South Africa, existing transit demand, abandoned rail spaces, and advanced infrastructure. Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, strategic location for continental trade routes and new industrial parks. Sources indicate Nairobi might take the lead. A private briefing suggested a 28 kilometers pilot route connecting Konza Technopolis to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. The goal? A proof of concept that beats high-speed rail and electric vehicles in cost, speed, and sustainability. And here's the wild part. Engineers claim the system could generate surplus energy during operation, meaning instead of draining a grid, it could feed one. With innovation comes opposition, and this tech has already rattled the wrong cages. Insiders have quietly revealed a European rail firm tried to buy exclusive patents to stall deployment. A North American transit lobby raised safety and feasibility concerns, despite having no data. A confidential letter from an Asian manufacturing competitor referenced strategic blockage if development reaches phase 2. There are even rumors of attempted cyber intrusions targeting research servers in South Africa and Kenya. But the engineering team anticipated this. Encrypted replication farms of the design documents have been deployed in 4 different countries. If one group is pressured, another continues. This isn't just innovation. It's innovation with a shield. Behind closed doors, a silent bidding race is heating up. 3 major blocks are positioning themselves. Small Blue Diamond, the Pan-African Investment Coalition, wants Africa to retain majority ownership and licensing rights. Small Blue Diamond Middle Eastern investors propose co-developing high-speed freight and passenger routes. Small Blue Diamond private tech funds in the West, interested in acquisition, patents, and integration into EV and Hyperloop ecosystems. The most surprising of all, a confidential offer floated by a firm linked to SpaceX investors, but without Musk's name directly attached. Their interests? Possibly merging the tech into inner-city vacuum transit systems. But here's what's making headlines internally. The African Engineering Group is considering crowd-backed public ownership, ensuring no single country or corporation can hijack the tech. Globe Showing Europe Africa Africans are calling it a turning point. The world mocked us. Now they're asking us how we did it. China is analyzing whether this undercuts its high-speed rail dominance. United States commentators in the U.S. are debating why Africa did it first. Japan transport analysts in Japan are stunned by the zero external energy claim. Seedling climate activists are calling it the clean transit solution EVs never delivered. And the memes? Ruthless. One shows a Maglev gliding past traffic with a caption, "Africa just skipped the part where we asked for permission." Another? A photo of Elon staring at a tablet with the text, "Hyperloop, but make it African." Ready for the next chapter? I can continue with the first planned test ride, scientific peer review, sabotage attempts, global licensing talks, or Elon's rumored follow-up move. While officials stay silent, an internal logistics memo has surfaced hinting at the first human test ride. The location? A classified test track outside Pretoria, reportedly extended from 200 meters to nearly 2.4 kilometers over the last 8 months. Noise output under 5 decibels, quieter than a laptop fan. The most ambitious plan? An aerodynamic pressure shield inspired by manta ray fins, reducing drag across long tracks. This is in competition with current transport. It's competition with jet travel. We're not building trains anymore. We're building flying ground vehicles. Rumors now suggest the UAE and Saudi Arabia are preparing a combined bid to accelerate deployment, to establish the first intercity Maglev freight and passenger corridor across the Gulf region before Europe or Asia can replicate it. Funding for a 30 kilometers test corridor in a controlled desert zone. Joint manufacturing in Africa with tax-free export agreements. Full-scale route connecting Doha, Abu Dhabi, and Riyadh. And here's the geopolitical twist. They want Africa to retain tech ownership while they bankroll the infrastructure, a move designed to block Western patent capture. If partnered correctly, Africa won't just enter the future, it will export it. Ready for the next segment? The political backlash now rising in Europe and the U.S. The secret meeting between African ministers and private defense contractors. The magnet quench sabotage attempt. Or Elon's rumored face-to-face outreach. As global powers maneuver and investors circle, the African coalition made a decision that stunned everyone watching. They rejected the silent buyouts. They sidestepped the patent traps. They outpaced the smear attempts and cyber sabotage. And in a move no one saw coming, the lead engineers and ministers announced a continental consortium called Globe Showing Europe Africa AMIT. The African Maglev and Integrated Transit Initiative hold shared ownership of the core technology, license it strategically to prevent monopoly or theft, build the first operational routes on African soil, partner with allies, but never surrender control. And here's where the story turns historic. At a closed-door summit in Addis Ababa, plans were finalized for the world's first self-charging Maglev passenger line, set to break ground in under 2 years. The founding nations? Kenya, South Africa, Rwanda, Ethiopia, and Morocco. A joint statement from the summit read, "Africa will not wait for permission to innovate. We will build the future, and the world may join us if it chooses." Shortly after the announcement, a message was quietly delivered from Elon Musk's camp. If the tech is real and scalable, we're ready to collaborate, not compete. Whether that's genuine respect or strategic positioning, no one knows. But one thing is now undeniable. For the first time in modern history, Africa isn't being invited into the future. It's building it, owning it, and exporting it. And the world? It's no longer asking, is this possible? Now it's asking, how fast can we catch up? The Maglev story won't end here. It's only the beginning of a new transportation era.